What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another month in review video. Today we're going to cover a lot of topics. We're going to go over the Virgen de Caacupé event that I told you guys a lot about. We're going to talk about some salvation testimonies. I just want to start this by saying thank you guys for your prayers last month for a couple of things. Obviously, I know people were praying for the Virgen de Caacupé event, which I'll talk about here in just a second. But I also want to thank you guys because Lauren's recuperation from her wisdom teeth surgery went well. She did end up getting all 4 removed in one day, but she was a trooper about it. The dentist kept saying that she was a brave woman, but she got through it and everything's good there. Now she's just making it's getting better. So thank you guys for praying. I also wanted to give you guys a little bit of information here about our year in total. Now, typically I don't keep numbers for myself. I don't go back through and look and see how many people I've been able to lead to the Lord. I couldn't tell you what I've done on a year-to-year basis. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just to make it clear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I know many people who do, and it's more to keep them on track of giving you something to look forward to. To me, it's kind of like a savings goal or an investing goal. It's like you're not doing it for that number, but it's cool to keep you moving forward in the right direction. And so I wanted to give you guys that, though, because even though I don't do it for me, I wanted to, for the people who are giving to the cause, for you guys to know that things are happening with the funds that are being given. Since I don't give those updates typically on a month-to-month basis, I want to give that to you guys here on this video. And so for the year, since we got here, since June, since we got here, what I did is I started sending in anybody that I led to the Lord. I'd put a number of how many people we were able to lead to the Lord that day or that week or whatever. And I sent that to my sending church so that way they could keep numbers. And then I went back through our group chats and looked. So for the year, we were able to see 93 people accept Christ, which to me, when I was looking back on the year, I was like, I didn't think that was right. I had to double check it, triple check it. But 93. That does include, though, a tremendous day at the Virgen de Caacupé event. And not all of those are me being the one talking. A lot of those are I'm going soul winning with a local or a national, and I'm just there with them. And, as a team, we were able to see someone accept Christ. And so, but glory be to God. I mean, it was crazy to look back on that and say, wow, 93 people of the Virgen de Caacupé event. I'll tell you guys this, it was a very fast moving event. So initially the idea was the 8th is the day, so that must be the day we go there to set up everything. And then just maybe 2 or 3, 4 days before the event, a pastor who's going to be helping us out let me know, hey, some of the members of my church told me, because he's from Mexico, so he's not familiar with the event himself. He said, some people from my church told me that church service for Virgen de Caacupé is the morning of the 8th at 6 a.m. or something like that. So people are going to be walking through the night to get there. The busiest time is going to be over the night, so we're going to have to do that. And so we changed our plans, and we made it where we were going to be there from 9 p.m. I got there at 9 p.m. and then we went till 8 a.m. The amount of people who would just stop just to grab the Bible and walk off was crazy. We had to be very active in going over to people who were sitting down because nobody was stopping if they were walking. Nobody. And so that's something we learned. That's it was an amazing event. There were so many people. One of the testimonies that I have from that event was a man named Angel. And I just remember he was a guy, I saw him and I would not have thought he would have been interested at all. He was very much more of the hippie type, I guess, if you want to call it that. I was trying to think of how to word it, but very much not someone that I would have thought would be interested in hearing it all. And as we were going through the conversation, I remember towards the end, I started asking people here something very specific to make sure that they understand the gospel. And that is, do you understand what's the difference between what I'm telling you now and what the Bible says and what you believed before this conversation? And he was able to lay it out for me. And I asked him, now let me ask you this. If you were to die believing what you believed before, where would you have gone? He said, I would have gone to hell. And that was humbling for him to say, and it was humbling to hear, because you understand that in that moment he gets it. He understands what he deserves for his sin. It doesn't matter if it was one small sin or if it was a big one. He deserves hell, just like I do, naturally, without God. And so that was a blessing. Angel, and then there was a couple that we got to talk to as well, right in front of the supermarket that's there, the Super Seis. It's Elias and Crystal. What people don't understand about this event is they think, oh, they're walking through the night to get to their hotel. No, people were sleeping on the ground, on the hard concrete in front of the Super Seis, because people don't have money to get a hotel here, most of them at least. And so we were talking to them as they were just sitting there kind of relaxing from a long day of walking. They weren't sleeping or anything, obviously. I wouldn't wake them up. But they were just sitting there. We went up. I started talking to them. My partner went off, started witnessing to some other people. But again, another circumstance where these people, they were so sincere. They were so in the conversation. And I couldn't really, from them, it didn't seem like they were firmly Catholic. They weren't like strict rule keeper Catholic. Maybe they were Catholic by name only, kind of like I was growing up, but it wasn't like a strong, like, I go to church every Sunday, I follow all the rules, all that kind of stuff. But nevertheless, there was still a lot of hurdles to get over because of the tradition that they were following. And so as we were having this conversation and things were kind of lining up where they were getting that salvation's a gift, they can't deserve it. And if you could deserve it, then it would no longer be a gift, Romans 11:6, right? So it's either of grace or it's by works, but it can't be both. It's not possible. And so as they were understanding this, you could just see this, you could see they were like really locked in. And it's sometimes you could tell when people are not locked into the conversation. They're looking around, they're not looking at you, they're like, whatever. But these guys were like locked in. And when I wasn't talking, they were looking down at the Bible. When the Bible was done, they were looking up at me. They were locked in. And when they ended up getting saved, I mean, it was just like, that was encouraging for me. Those are the first two people that I was able to lead to the Lord that evening. After, I mean, we were out there for maybe 6-7 hours before that point. I had not been able to talk to anybody. And this was the first time I was able to get away from the tent because we had reinforcements show up. And when they showed up, I was able to leave and start going to talk to people. And so that was a blessing, getting to talk to them as well. If you don't get our newsletters, first let me just say I'll put a link down in the description below, and I'll send you guys something so that way you can get our newsletters directly as soon as they come out. You'll be the first ones to get them. They're free. There's no cost to them, obviously, but I'll just get them sent to you so that way you can read our reports first. Before this shows up, it gives you basically a basic outline of everything. So if you have 3-4 minutes, maybe not even, you could read through our newsletter and kind of get a gist of everything that's going on. But in our newsletter, we kind of mentioned it briefly, but we no longer have a vehicle. That kind of complicates things in a couple respects. We do live an hour of a car ride from the capital. Normally what we would do is we'd have 3 times a week, we'd have our Spanish classes in the capital. Now, right now, the Spanish classes are off, but when they return, this is going to hinder some things. We're going to have to readjust and maybe not go to the Spanish classes the 3 times a week that we were, maybe go twice or something like that. The thing that's more important, though, is that means that the people that we were bringing to church don't have a ride. One of them is pregnant. She's almost 9 months pregnant, which I know there's only 9 months, but there's faulty math there somewhere. And so she is due in February. Her and her kids obviously can't walk because she doesn't want to send them off by themselves, which makes sense. So her being pregnant complicates things, but beyond that, now not having a vehicle complicates things as well, which means not only them and their family, but also other families that she kind of has the kids come to church with her also can't come. There's a lot of things like that to consider. So if you guys could be praying, the only solution that I have right now is to get Bolt, which is like the cheap form of Uber to get people to bring them to church. And so it does kind of complicate things now. I can't rent a car here. You have to be 30, which is absolutely bonkers because that's still 6 years away from me. So I can't rent a car. And buying a car with only 3 months at least to me, doesn't make much sense. So I guess what I'm asking you to pray for is just direction. And so please be praying for that. That'll be a huge. So with that being said, guys, thank you guys for hopping on here, watching our update for December. I can't wait to be getting you guys more videos, more of what it's like on the mission field, more testimonies, more things in the month to come. But until then, God bless, and thank you for watching.